Normally, when an NBA All-Star scores 22 points in a winter game, it's not really that big of a deal. But Golden State Warriors center DeMarcus Cousins made history doing just that when he scored 22 points against the Indiana Pacers in January of 2019. For Cousins, it was his first 20-point scoring outing since tearing his Achilles the season before, an injury many were skeptical he could ever recover from. #inspirational. But Boogie's scoring binge was also the first time in almost a decade that a Warriors center scored at least 20 points in a game. The last time it occurred was November 26, 2010, when Andres Biedrins scored 28 points in a 116-111 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. It took 8 years and 2 months for Biedrins' then teammate Steph Curry to see another Golden State center put up a dub for the Dubs. That crazy stat is a reminder of how nondescript the center position has been for the Warriors since Michael Jordan had hair. The Warriors had been hunting for a dominant big for years. In 2011, they signed Clippers big man DeAndre Jordan to an offer sheet which the Clippers quickly matched, dashing the dreams of then-coach Pastor Mark Jackson. In 2013, they hotly pursued All-Star big man Dwight Howard. Unfortunately for the Dubs, he picked James Harden's Rockets instead. Warriors owner Joe Lacob remarked at the time, "We were a lot closer than people realized to perhaps that actually happening." In 2014, there was the nearly completed Klay Thompson for Kevin Love trade that Jerry West vetoed in the 11th hour. Now thank goodness that deal didn't happen, because Thompson and Curry make up the greatest shooting backcourt in NBA history, the Splash Bros. West refused to let the deal go through because he saw the future of the NBA and knew Thompson had all the makings of a big-time player. Notwithstanding, the Warriors still coveted that big-time center. Historically, that's been the best way to compete for a title. I checked Basketball Reference for the rosters of every single team that won a title between the Warriors' 1975 and 2015 championships. I found a common denominator for all those winners. They either had Michael Jordan or they had a highly decorated all-star big man. Sometimes even two dominant bigs. #Twin Towers. Now the Warriors won 3 out of the next 4 titles after Tim Duncan Spurs, without a dominant big. But that's what made the arrival of DeMarcus Cousins so scary for everyone outside of Dub Nation. Entering the league in 2010, DeMarcus Cousins had been selected for the All-Star game 4 times, although his Achilles injury prevented his participation the 4th time. Meanwhile in Oakland, the Warriors hadn't seen a center selected for the All-Star game since Joe Barry Carroll in 1987. Boogie averaged 23 points and 11.7 rebounds during his 8 combined years in Sacramento and New Orleans. During that same period, the Warriors had one center have a single 2010 game. One center had 20 points and 10 rebounds one time since Boogie Cousins entered the league. Wow. In fact, in that same time span, the Warriors have had only one center average 10 rebounds for a season, when Andrew Bogut did it in 2014. In Boogie's last season with the New Orleans Pelicans, he averaged 5.4 assists. The Warriors haven't had a center average 5 dimes since Wilt Chamberlain in 1962. Now the Warriors dynasty was built on long-range splashing, drilling from downtown. If you ask DeMarcus, he'll tell you he's the third splash brother. DeMarcus Cousins shot 33% from downtown in his pre-Warriors career. For reference, Chris Bosh was the stretch 5 for LeBron and D-Wade's championship Miami Heat teams, and he was 33% from beyond the arc himself. No wonder the rest of the NBA cried tears of anguish upon hearing Boogie Cousins had joined the Golden Empire. But most importantly, for the first time, former Warriors legends Wilt Chamberlain and Nate Thurmond could look down from big man heaven and smile, knowing that the Golden State Warriors finally had the center of their dreams. The Boogeyman had arrived.